A fire broke out at a horticulture dumping yard near Noida city centre on Monday late night. As soon as the information was received, the fire tender reached the spot. But firefighters have not been able to douse the fire, and the pollution levels have spiked in Noida because of this. News9's Nivriti Mohan spoke to Chief Fire Officer Pradeep Kumar from the spot. Listen in to what he had to say.
Right now we are at sector 32 Noida, where the fire has ignited. It had ignited on Monday and at around 6:30 p.m. and since then the fire brigade, the fire department has been trying tirelessly to douse this off, but they have succeeded to an extent, but not entirely. Right now with us is CFO, the Chief Fire Officer Pradeep Kumar. Let us talk to him and understand what are the difficulties that they are facing right now.
देखिए, शाम को सोमवार को होली के दिन जब सब लोग होली सेलिब्रेट कर रहे थे, हमें शाम को 6 बजे यहाँ पे डंपिंग यार्ड है जहाँ पे कि सूखे पत्ते, सूखी लकड़ियाँ यहाँ पे नोएडा अथॉरिटीज़, नोएडा हॉर्टिकल्चर के द्वारा तो 2 किलोमीटर और 1.5 किलोमीटर एरिया है, वहाँ पे इनके डंप किया जाता है। और आप पीछे देख सकती हैं कि डंपिंग यार्ड काफ़ी बड़ा है, ये जो है 30 फीट से 35 फीट के गहरे में डंप किया जाता है। तो हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे शाम को जब 6 बजे सूचना मिली तो हम लोगों ने आके देखा कि आग काफ़ी बड़ी लगी हुई है। पहले दिन जो है आग का जो बड़ी मात्रा में लगी हुई थी, अभी आप पीछे देख सकते हैं कि आग नहीं है, धुआं है। आग पहले दिन बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ी मात्रा में थी, तो 15 हमने तुरंत ही हमने रवाना कर दी थी अलग अलग फायर स्टेशनों से। तब से लेके
With all this gear, you must be wondering if I'm climbing a mountain. Well, let me give you a wider look of this place. This is Asia's largest mountain of shame. Don't be surprised with the garbage that you see around. The reason why we are climbing this, because cleaning this mess is not going to be a cakewalk, but an uphill task.
When you enter capital cities of some of the biggest countries in the world, you don't have 3 garbage mountains waiting to welcome you depending on whichever side of the city you enter from. I think these 3 mountains of garbage are actually a matter of shame for all the people who live in Delhi.
It's one of the biggest environmental issues. It's a ticking time bomb because we're actually talking about what, almost around 12,500 metric tons of garbage that is produced every day.
30 million residents of Delhi have been dumping garbage in Ghazipur landfill since 1984. It started with 800 tons of garbage. Today, we are dumping close to 3,000 to 4,000 metric tons of garbage. 1,700 to 2,000 metric tons of garbage is dumped every day at the Okhla landfill, and 4,000 metric tons of waste is dumped at Bhalaswa. Now, if we add all the 3 landfills, it is close to 10,000 tons of garbage every day. 28 million metric tons of garbage makes up these 3 mountains. On an average, these landfills can process 4 lakh metric tons of garbage each year. At this rate, it will take 70 years to clear these 3 mountains. At 43 degrees Celsius, it was one of the hottest days in Delhi, and the Bhalaswa landfill is engulfed in flames. The aftermath was so poisonous that nearby schools were shut for a week. Exactly a month back, similar fires were seen in Ghazipur too.
ऐसे लगते हैं जैसे कोई छोटे छोटे चिराग जल रहे हैं ना, फिर आगे भड़क जाते हैं। पूरा ऐसा हो जाता है जैसे कोई गोला, जैसे बिल्कुल लाल ये खत्ता।
ऐसी धुंधली धुंधली हो गई, लगा क्या हो गया है। फिर देखा तो आग लगी हुई थी। और उस टाइम पे हम लोग इतना डर गए थे कि पता नहीं क्या हो सकता है आगे।
यहाँ सांस ही नहीं लिया जा रहा था, घर के अंदर बैठ के सांस नहीं लिया जा रहा था।
Cannot take your fire tender, man cannot go, there is no water source, it is a vertical fire.
Right now it's visible. It's only when the firefighters are not able to douse the fire is when it actually catches the nation's attention, the city's attention, or media attention.
What we saw at Ghazipur and Bhalaswa was just the tip of the iceberg. According to data, in the last 4 years, close to 45 incidents of fires have come to light from Delhi's garbage landfills.
The national capital has close to 3 huge landfills, one at Balsava, the other at Okla, and the third one at Ghazipur. All the three together comprises of close to 500 acres of land.
The Bhalaswa landfill has had 12 fires in 2021, and 4 fires have been reported this year. Okla landfill has so far seen 2 fires in 2022, nothing last year. Ghazipur landfill has already seen 3 fires in 2022, 1 in March, 2 in April. 4 fire incidents in 2021 and 12 in 2020.
Well, landfills catching fire is nothing new. It's a recurring problem. But the big question is, why does a landfill catch fire? What is the root cause of it?
When you keep putting waste, making a heap, there will be in the middle layer and in the bottom layer, there won't be any oxygen supply. And if the degradation is happening in the absence of oxygen, and there is no control mechanism, then these greenhouse gases like methane, these will be produced, CO2 will be produced, carbon dioxide, and also the obnoxious gases, such as the H2S, ammonia, these will be produced.
Dry waste, wet waste, plastic waste, e-waste, all kinds of waste make it to this mountain of garbage. First, this turns into aerobic decomposing because of the oxygen that is present in the atmosphere. After piles and piles of garbage is landed on top of each other, it turns into anaerobic decomposing, which means there is a lack of oxygen. This black patch that you see over here is where the bacteria are creating methane. Now, this methane is capable to self-ignite at 40 to 60 degrees, which is very normal at a landfill.
ये देखिए जी, आप गाड़ी आ रही हैं, कचरा गिर रही हैं, ये यहाँ का कचरा उठा रहे हैं, कचरा डल रहा है, कचरा भेज रहे हैं, कचरा डल रहा है, कचरा, यानी कि 2 गाड़ी आ रही है तो 2 गाड़ी ये साफ कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसे कचरा थोड़ी ना कम हो जाएगा.
Over the years, there has been no proper system of waste management in Delhi. Over the years, there has been no initiative. 1, to manage the legacy waste that exists. 2, to reduce the kind of waste that is being added on a daily basis in these garbage mountains. Today, the Ghazipur landfill site is almost the same height as Qutub Minar. This is the reality. There's 140 lakh tons of legacy waste that are lying in Ghazipur. What have the MCDs done? What have the municipal corporations done? Absolutely nothing.
गाजीपुर लैंडफिल साइट के माध्यम से हम लोग 80 लाख लोगों की सफाई करते हैं, लाखों घरों को साफ करके वहाँ पर कूड़ा जमा करते हैं. एक ही जगह गंदगी दिखाई दिया, पहाड़ दिखाई दिया, लेकिन आप यदि ये घरों में कूड़ा होगा, गली गली में कूड़ा होगा, तो कैसा नज़ारा होगा. मैं मानता हूँ कि ये भी नहीं होना चाहिए, लेकिन दिल्ली सरकार क्योंकि हमें मदद नहीं करती, केवल बातें ही बनाती है, इसलिए हम लोग मजबूर हैं.
The Qutub Minar in Delhi stands at 73 meters. On the verge of taking over, it is the Ghazipur landfill at 65 meters, followed by the Bhalaswa landfill at 63 meters and the Okla landfill at 60 meters. These towering landfills bring along one of the biggest problems that Delhi faces: pollution.
अब ये देख ही रहे हो खत्ते का हाल क्या है। ये हमारे घर से 50 मीटर की दूरी पे नहीं है। यहाँ पर आप रात को आओ, दिन में आओ, आप 1 घंटे बैठ नहीं सकते बाहर। इतनी धूल, प्रदूषण, महक, आप खाना भी नहीं खा सकते बाहर बैठ के।
हमारे घर में जो बड़े हैं उन्हें अस्थमा के वो पेशेंट है, तो उनका जो है नॉर्मल नहीं रहता कभी भी। सांस चलना, आए दिन उनको निबुलाइजर लगाना पड़ता है।
सांस लेने में दिक्कत, यहाँ तक कि मुझे इमरजेंसी में जाना पड़ा हॉस्पिटल। इतनी दिक्कत, यहाँ तक डॉक्टर ने भी मुझे ये चीज़ बोला कि यहाँ का एरिया छोड़ के कहीं और चाहिए।
There is air pollution 365 days because of this landfill. There's water contamination because of water release or leachate release that is happening to the underground water and therefore to also the surface water drains around. And also there's soil contamination. And we need to understand that these are issues that are not contained to a geographical area. It is not a problem only of Ghazipur, because when we talk about contamination, with wind, it actually can go to any direction. When we talk about water, it enters our food chain and therefore can enter any human body. So it's not a localized problem. It is a Delhi problem. It's a problem that doesn't catch the imagination / attention of our executive.
Let me give you a topography of this place. On my right hand side is the Ghazipur landfill. Right behind the landfill is the Gaushala and the dairy market where all the milk is accumulated. Now right next to that is the fish market, and where we are standing is the egg and chicken market. Now all these products of dairy and poultry end up at your houses. Now because of the proximity to the landfill, all the toxicity of the landfill gets settled over here in these markets, and these products find their way to your houses. That means, for all you know, we are also consuming trash despite being away from the landfill.
Who is to be blamed? Above all, it is us who are to be blamed.
If you think we're being harsh on you, well, this is our reality. The aim behind segregation was to reduce the pressure at these landfills. But what happens? We mix wet and dry waste together and dump it at the nearest dustbin. We use plastic at a drop of a hat. And you know what happens when 10,000 tons of garbage is collected every day? Well, everybody, including us, we forget about it.
We cannot look at a solution at the end of the tunnel. You have to look at the beginning of the tunnel, that where does the waste originate? As in, almost 650 tons of garbage that we're talking about, out of 12,500 tons every day that Delhi generates, is just plastic.
We need to, and that is non-negotiable. That is a fundamental criteria to any sustainable waste management, that we have to ensure segregation. And for segregation, we need to educate our people. We need to drive large-scale behavior change campaign, information education campaign. This is exactly what Indore and other better cities or best cities have done. What Indore has done, they have ensured 6-way source segregation, which is like food waste, plastics, metal, glass, sanitary waste, domestic hazardous waste, and all the rest of it. And it has taken Indore years to kind of get this system properly in place.
Germany is a torchbearer when it comes to clearing landfills. They've converted their trash and have produced electricity. The impact is such that they have now completely exhausted their garbage and are now importing it.
At the very beginning, it's collection. If you don't collect, you can't separate, you can't recycle. But even more importantly, now we realize we have to start earlier, already by design of products. Are they full of future waste, or are they designed in a way that makes it easy to repair them, to reuse them, or to recycle them?
But in New Delhi, the story is completely different.
पूरी दिल्ली में कहीं चले जाओ, इनके ढलाव नजर आते हैं, जो कि पूरे दिल्ली के लिए, देश की राजधानी के लिए, हर भारतीय के लिए एक बहुत ही शर्मनाक बात है। पूरे दिल्ली के अंदर कूड़े के ढेर लगे हुए हैं, जहां देखो वहां ढलाव। भारतीय जनता पार्टी और नगर निगम ने पूरी दिल्ली को कूड़ा घर बना दिया, कूड़ा कर दिया। It is known as garbage capital of India. शर्म आती है।
5 या 6 बार इनवाइट कर चुका हूँ हमारे सीएम को कि यहाँ पर आके देखें किस तरीके का काम हो रहा है। अगर इतने ही वो सीरियस हैं दिल्ली की जनता के लिए और अपने आप को दिल्ली की जनता का मसीहा मानते हैं तो एक बार ये 6 साल में तो आना चाहिए था ना। ये मेरी 8वीं विजिट है 1.5 साल में।
Total failure of administration, because finally garbage management is the main responsibility, though virtually the only job the municipal corporations have to do in Delhi, and that also they have not been able to do.
हम लोग डिपेंड होते हैं स्टेट गवर्नमेंट पे। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट इसके एक्स्ट्रा पैसा देने की तो बात ही नहीं है, जो वहाँ हक बनता है वो भी नहीं दे पा रहे।
Shanti Stupa and the park where we are standing were dump sites just like the one in Okla, Ghazipur and Balsava. Places like these are examples that if we act resourcefully, act decisively and work collectively, we can change our future. The garbage crisis in Delhi needs our immediate attention. It's more important than ever for us to rise above our political bickering and change our mindset. It is completely on us if we want to transform the environment and give nature a second chance. Otherwise, the garbage in Delhi will continue to flow and mountains like these landfills will continue to grow.